if I ask you, what is the meaning of life? The answer probably would be one. Of course, everybody would say to obtain happiness. So clear and obvious is the answer. But the challenge is that everybody has his or her understanding or perception of happiness. And I will find hundreds of different answers even in this hall. For some of us, happiness is wealth. For others, it is health. Somebody finds it in love, but someone wants to be all above, and so on. Maybe this is the beauty of happiness, and we all know that there is a great saying that there is only one truth, but everybody has their own truth. This is the beauty of pluralism. If happiness is the destination for everybody, then how can we reach it? That's the question. It is just treasure or jewel that we know it exists, but how to find it? Or it is easy for me as a physician to explain that there is a cure, but how to find it? And today, in an area of evidence-based medicine, it is so easy for us doctors to find solutions because there are guidelines. And you should just follow them and find the best treatment. And the same is true in every field. There are instructions, guidelines, algorithms, formulas, and so forth, which are taught in schools, colleges, training courses, by some teachers, tutors, or even today by AI. But this is life. And where are these schools of happiness? Where are these guidelines for happiness? Or well-trained teachers who will guide us on the right path to reach a destination of happiness? You might say they are our parents. Yes, but except few people have them. So are all people happy? From which university or schools of happiness did graduate our parents? Do they have such diploma or certificate in order to teach that happiness? There is no single school or university in the world which are specialized on obtaining or giving happiness. And the only country in the world that has agency of happiness is Bhutan. There are tens of thousands of schools and universities in the world that teach only subjects or specialties. But the paradox is that we all want to be happy. Can any one of you show me a university which discharges students with diploma of happiness, and I would gladly send my son to that university. Because I want to have a happy child. If I continue in the same way, I would be like a grammarian who was on the ship and asked the boatman if he had studied any grammar. The boatman said, "No, nothing." Then grammarian said, "It is a pity. Half of your life is wasted." A little bit later, a storm arises. A shipwreck threatens. Everybody was in a panic, and the boatman accidentally saw a grammarian in a panic and asked, "The grammarian, can you swim?" The grammarian said, "No, never." Then the boatman said, "It is a pity. All your life is wasted." I'm sure some of you have heard this great story of Rumi. And so, if anybody of you, like a boatman, asks me Dear doctor, did you find that happiness yourself? And of course, I prepared myself for that question, unlike a grammarian. So let me remind you an old truth that the only school that teaches us happiness is our family. And I would love to share my own truth about happiness, which of course is deeply rooted in my family tradition. I grew up in a tradition where the focus has been on obtaining happiness from the early childhood till the end of life and even hereafter. According to that tradition, our universe is like a fruit tree. And the gardener wants a ripe, juicy, and delicious fruit. To get such fruit, every tree needs three things equally and continuously. These three things are the sun, water, and fertilizer. We said our planet, our universe, is like a fruit tree. And the fruit of this universe, according to our tradition, is a human being. We are the fruit and the goal of this universe. All the rest exists in order to serve us, so that we find happiness and become a perfect human. Like all parts of tree, root, stem, and leaves serve fruit to ripe. Since human being consists of three parts, body, mind, and soul, then all of them need equally, continuously to be nourished. First of all, our body needs good health. Good health gives us good quality of life and longevity, which leads to happiness. Hence, we should care about our bodies through healthy food and healthy lifestyles, such as sport, and of course, regular medical checkups. Secondly, our mind needs knowledge. You know, human society has never had so much good knowledge as today, and now it is called knowledge society. Today, in a meritocratic world, without strong education and skills, it is hard to be happy. Rather, it requires lifelong learning. Education serves us to provide specialties and job, which provide us with material well-being as well as expand our worldview. The more educated a man is, the more fortunate and happy he will be. And thirdly, our soul also needs nourishment. According to our tradition, spirituality is balanced in two directions. Vertical spirituality, or we call it ibadat, which is your bond with God, and horizontal spirituality, your action, your interaction and ethic with people, animals, and an environment. These two lines are interconnected. Our vertical spirituality needs routine practice of faith through prayers, salah, and remembrance, zikr, while our horizontal spirituality needs to serve people, to take care and protect animals and the environment. This is the beauty of balance between the two lines. In our tradition, spirituality is a way of life. It continues in your daily life, in your ethical attitude towards people in the street, or at workplace, or home, or elsewhere around the clock. your ethical action to take care and protect animals and the environment in order to pass the world all to the next generation in a best form. That is spirituality according to our faith tradition. Because in our tradition, world, dunya, and faith, deen, should be in balance. We should never forsake one for another. Otherwise, we can go astray. And we believe that this is the right path based on correct and right balance between our spiritual and material life. What we see is that there is no conflict between faith and science, between faith and worldly life. Rather, they complement each other and should be in harmony and correct balance. Keeping a correct balance between searching material well-being and practicing faith leads to material satisfaction and happiness in our hearts. This is the beauty of the balance and secret of happiness. If you can nourish these from early childhood, gradually it becomes your lifestyle. And you will be not only a successful person, but also a successful, happy person. But the main principle here is equal and continuous development of these three things, from which we can derive a formula of happiness. For example, if you can't provide one of these three things for this fruit tree, we couldn't get a desired fruit. And the same is for human. If we nourish one of these three parts of our existence, but don't care about others, it is hard to find a full happiness. Therefore, our formula, as a rule, requires equality or balance. We all have a chance to develop equally in mental, physical, and spiritual aspects and keep a harmony between them. Now, for me, it is not only a duty. I would say it is a lifestyle. You can find harmony in this balance. Wherever you are working or with whom you live, that makes no difference. You have taken the best values, which lead in harmony in everywhere. And you can change the world around you like a flower in a poem of our great poet Sadi Shirazi, who narrates that one day he went to bathhouse and used a piece of sweet-smelling clay there. It had an intoxicating aroma. And he asked it, "Where did you get that enchanting fragrance from?" And it answered that I used to be just mud, but I sat for a time with the roses, and the perfection of my companions had an effect on me. Otherwise, I am nothing but dust. The story tells us how beauty is contagious. Even dirty soul can be changed to perfection. We, human beings, are granted with the greatest gift of intellect, can find that harmony and build future and make our planet a better place and live with dignity, like a flower in a poem of our great poet Sadi did. You can find the correct balance, the sound balance, the enlightened balance between the search for material well-being and spiritual happiness. We can build better and confident future. Happiness depends on maintaining in that balance. Wherever you are living, there is no conflict in maintaining that balance. So be aware of that balance throughout of your life. Let us keep that balance in our lives between the material and spiritual. Keep trying not to ruin this harmony. Let us make this balance part of our lives, everyday lives, so that becomes part of our existence, human existence. This is our kind tradition. And I remember my grandmother's prayer where she asked in maintaining in this balance by the words, ای بار خدای عرش کرسی 6 چیز مدد به من فرستی ایمان و امان و تندرستی علم و عمل و فراخ دستی. In Persian it means maintaining physically, mentally and spiritually strong is the best way of finding harmony and happiness. And today, in following that tradition, I am so proud and happy to carry these values. Values which in childhood I thought they were only our family's values. But gradually I found that they are universal values. Values that lead to harmony in everything, in every way, and lead to happiness. Thank you.